This is a quick take of the interesting happenings in the first half of the Friday Night Mix. The big news coming out of the meeting was the fact that the Friday Night Mix would become a split season. Who would this benefit the most? Here's what happened over the course of the 2016-2017 Friday Night Mix's first 17 weeks. The 5 stars would jump out to an early lead but would fade fast after the first 2 weeks. Joe's Aces would take point for quite a while, but for how long? Nick Carey would open up the scoring with the first 700 series of the season in week 2, while Wayne Lee would surge with some fantastic performances in the early stages. Also from the start would see the dominance of Sandra Berry. Berry would rip a 265 but would also start the trend of great games not translating into victories. Her oddballs would drop places over time. Also in the early stretch, Split Happens would win consistently and keep improving in the process. The Alley Cats would get off to a much better early start than last season, but they would start to fade a bit, at least for a little while. Joe's Aces would be dominant for the first 6 weeks, but then things would start to tail off for them. For highly medicated, Ed Smith would put up a few superb performances, and his team would set a record-long streak. Chuck Johnson has been much stronger, and his market-up has also been better, staying mid-pack. After the first 6 weeks, Joe's Aces would start to struggle, but over the course of this handful of weeks, nobody would be able to make a charge, so they would stay on point. Guys and Dolls would give the Alley Cats a huge wake-up call in week 7, and it would ultimately be a huge turning point for Dog Walk's bunch. Split Happens would continue to improve and come through with wins, and the Nick of Time would perform quite well heading into the season's first position round. Amazingly, it took 8 weeks for the Oddballs to take 5 points from anyone. They took it from the L's and C's, and not long after, a surprising series of events would happen for them. Up Your Alley has looked like highly medicated of last season at times, always finding a way to somehow win one game. The first position round would feature an amazing performance from James DiStefano. Flirting with perfection and heading into the 10th frame with 9 strikes in a row. Would he roll a 300? His aces would knock off Up Your Alley, but they have not been showing the domination of weeks past. Nick Carey would roll a 258 in defeat, and that would be a theme for some bowlers. Highly medicated and the L's and C's would get the only sweeps in the position round, but things would start to change. The only constant was that the aces continued to lead. The next week, another great performance wouldn't be enough. Richie Rosa would rip 11 strikes in a row for a 279, but his team would fall short. His consistency was also an issue. Week 10 would also mark a huge turning point for the L's and C's. Getting swept for the first time ended their 44-week streak of not getting swept, a record that they would hold for 1 week, as Highly Medicated would ultimately extend their streak to 48 weeks before getting swept by the Red Hot Alley Cats. Speaking of the Alley Cats, they would become a near unstoppable force, beating everyone in their path. Richie Rosa would be at it again in week 11, this time adding a 274 followed by no consistency. The Aces would continue their struggles, but their lead would not shrink significantly. Also, another trend would be of the roller coaster variety. Bowlers would put up amazing scores and then the next week pretty much not show up. Just about everyone has been affected by this. Week 12 would see a bunch of bowlers excelling, but Bud Geisy would rip 2 250-plus games in a losing effort, while the Oddballs would finally win the 3rd game for the first time. Sandra Berry's 256 would help her team win, unlike her previous 265. After not getting swept all season, the L's and C's would see themselves getting swept for the 3rd straight week. Ouch. In week 13, Sam Comm would start a 2-week stretch of incredible individual performances against Highly Medicated. Karen O'Shaughnessy would finish it with an amazing series the next week. The Alley Cats would keep pushing hard through their opponents, but the L's and C's would get swept for the 4th straight week. From a team that blew through the field last year, it's hard to fathom. Jesse Parsons II was unbelievable for Split Happens, but his bunch wouldn't win the close ones against Guys and Dolls. Week 14 would see the Aces lose badly, but not their lead. However, the Alley Cats would really cut into that lead in a hurry. At least the L's and C's ended their insanely long losing streak at 28. Week 15 would see the Alley Cats end Highly Medicated's record-long losing streak of not getting swept at 48 weeks. Perfection would be flirted again as Mike Naylor stepped up with 9 strikes in a row looking for a 300. He would have needed the perfect game in order for his team to win, though. His Steelers did take 5, however. Week 16 would ultimately set up what could be a crazy finish to the first half of the Friday Night Mix. While split happens, the Steelers and nick of time lurk, the Alley Cats would cut in just 3 weeks Joe's Aces lead over them down from 15 to 1. Lanes 1 and 2 were graveyards, lacking much in the way of scoring for the most part, and nobody else would really stand out. Way too many scenarios could play out at the end of the first half. Who would win it? Week 17 of the Friday Night Mix would turn to be quite the night for one team and a disappointment for others. Joe's Aces would put up a strong effort against the red-hot Alley Cats, but they would be swept, giving Jeffrey Twomley's bunch the first half victory. They would go 26-2 in the final 4 weeks to seal the deal. And now, here's how the teams fared from last to first. Also, any records I will discuss will be based on the final 8 weeks after the first position round. The L's and C's finished last and were a dreadful 11-45 and got swept 5 times. The Oddballs finished 11th and alternated good and bad weeks throughout. The 5 Stars finished 10th and finished the first half on a high note, going 20-8 in the past 4 weeks. Highly Medicated finished 9th and struggled to a 24-32 record. Guys and Dolls finished 8th and was a solid 32-24. Mark It Up finished 7th and were one of 5 teams to not take 7. Up Your Alley finished 6th and they were the only team to go the entire first half without getting swept. Split Happens finished 5th and they were a poor 9-26 in the past 5 weeks. Joe's Aces finished 4th and led 14 of the first 17 weeks of the season in spite of going 20-36. Nick of Time and the Steelers finished tied for 2nd. Nick of Time had the 2nd best record. And the Steelers finished strong with a 24-11 record in the past 5 weeks. And the Alley Cats would finish first and roar to a 44-12 record. 7 teams did not get swept after the first position round. And that will do it for the first half of the Friday Night Mix. And I'll do another quick take at the end of the season.
He's trying to out-muscle those pins. Leaves the 5 pin. Bowler 2 is up. That's where it needed to be. She's eyeing the double. Cannonball down the lane. She's got herself a double. Awesome! Let's see that incredible strike again. Now that is a beautiful ball. I bet he would like to show off with successive marks. The audience is being treated to some spectacular bowling today. Tremendous. One more time. Let's look at that strike. That is great. Starting frame 5. That is where it's at. Wow. Here's that great strike again. Wow, look at that. Let's take a look at everyone's score. Here we are in frame 6. Seven down. Bowler 1 is on the approach. There it is. Bowler 2, it's your turn. tap. Bowler on the platform. He's trying a light ball. It's always nice when the crowd boosts your game. Frame 6, ball 1. Whoa, big curve. She wipes that deck clean. Awesome! Let's see that incredible strike again. Killer, what a great shot. This curve will give him some extra pit action. Really throwing some rocks this game. Wow, here's that great strike again. Now that is a beautiful ball. He's looking for a 4-timer. Wow, nice mixer. Awesome. Let's see that incredible strike again. That is great. Hey, let's see the scores, shall we? Kicking off frame 7. He hits 7 and is left with 3. That ball won't stay the course. That will give him a mark. Fastball. And he throws down the hammer. Tremendous. One more time. Let's look at that strike. Wow, look at that. Keeping this game clean. She really hit through the ball. Wow, rips the rack and gets robbed. A little more curve than straight. She covers the 4-pin, beginning frame 7. Throws a real bullet down the lane. And that's 7. This spare should not be too challenging. Closes the deal. First ball. This audience really responds to those great shots. Awesome! Let's see that incredible strike again. Killer, what a great shot. Checking the scoreboard. Looking for the clean game. Heavier balls are tougher to control. You've got a sleeper in that mess. On the straight and narrow. Recovers nicely. His goal here is simple. Try for 2. Big curve, lots of action. That's gotta hurt. Clear up. I don't know what sounds better, pins flying or that awesome applause. Big curve. Way to rally the troops. Tremendous. One more time. Let's look at that strike. That is great. He would like to see a repeat of that last frame. He has got to appreciate that crowd cheering him on. Wow. Here's that great strike again. Now that is a beautiful ball. Looking for that 6-pack. The string has been cut. Looking for the conversion. Moves down to a less aggressive ball. Now we're getting somewhere. It's time to check the stats. Bowler up. That shot got the crowd fired up. Awesome! Let's see that incredible strike again. Wow, look at that. Beginning frame 9. Oh, leaves the bedpost. Throws a bullet down the lane. Nice! Awesome! Here's that pickup one more time. Killer! What a great shot. Player about to deliver. strikes tonight. Tremendous. One more time. Let's look at that strike. Now that is a beautiful ball. We're at the 9th frame. Get you a handful, son. Wow, nice mixer. Wow, here's that great strike again. That is great. We're about to deliver. Cannonball down the lane. Leaves the baby split. Looking to spare this one. Picks up 2 for the spare. Let's see that fantastic spare again. Wow, look at that. This is where the game stands. Going for a double. Fastball. Hey, look, all down in the pit. Awesome! Let's see that incredible strike again. Killer, what a great shot. This curve should give him some extra pin action. Triple. Tremendous. One more time. Let's look at that strike. Now that is a beautiful ball. Revving it up. He picks up a 4-bagger. Wow. Here's that great strike again. That is great. And this game ends at 207. Check out all those marks. Wow, nice mixer. Tremendous. One more time. Let's look at that strike. Killer. What a great shot. Got a lot of revs on that ball. The crowd is really showing their appreciation now. Awesome! Let's see that incredible strike again. Wow, look at that. This guy's a real powerhouse. Wow, nice mixer. Wow, here's that great strike again. That is great. And that wraps up this game, breaking 190. Great finish. Got some serious revs on that ball. There's a little bit of displeasure from the fans. She's going with the light ball. She's really working the crowd with this game. Last frame. And this game ends at 221. This bowler can down some pins. He is really throwing some rocks. Tremendous. One more time. Let's look at that strike. Now that is a beautiful ball. Player ready to go. He's not going to get any sympathy from this gallery. Still alive. Last ball. He picks up 1 for the spare. It's all over. Breaking 230. Hey, get your tour card. This game was near perfection. This guy sure has an arm on him. Oh, the crowd is not happy. Marks across the board. This is a clean game. Picks up 1 for the spare. Still alive. Kill shot. This curve will give him some extra pin action. It's hammer time. Awesome! Let's see that incredible strike again. Killer. What a great shot. It's all over. Breaking 230. Hey, get your tour card. We are going to see more from this bowler in the future. I guarantee it.